Did you know that 1 in 3 seniors over 65 falls each year? And here's what most don't realize. 90% of hip fractures are caused by falls, and 20% of seniors who break a hip never walk independently again. But here's what shocked me when I started researching this. Most falls don't happen while you're walking your daily mile around the neighborhood. They happen in the moments in between, when you stand up from the dinner table and feel that split-second wobble, when you reach for a coffee mug on the top shelf and your body tilts just a little too far, or when you go to sit down and your legs give out faster than you expected, and you collapse into the chair. You've probably heard that walking every day keeps you strong and prevents falls, and that's partly true. But here's what physical therapists are now discovering. Walking trains you to move forward, but falls? They almost never happen while moving forward. They happen when you move up, down, or sideways and your stabilizer muscles aren't ready. That's the part no one talks about. Walking doesn't train your balance system. Not really. Which is why researchers are now looking at something surprisingly simple. A specific type of chair movement, not a workout, not a stretch, but a rhythmic seated habit that activates your internal stabilizer system more effectively than a 30-minute walk. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Number 2 on today's list. It's something you already do dozens of times every single day, but 95% of people over 60 are doing it in a way that actually increases their fall risk. And when you fix it, your balance improves within 2 weeks. Before we dive in, quick question. Drop a comment right now with your age and whether you've had a fall or near fall in the last year. We're reading every single comment and replying with personalized tips. Now let's talk about what most doctors aren't telling you about fall prevention, because it's not about doing more, it's about doing smarter, and it starts right here, in the chair you're sitting in. Quick question before we dive in. How old are you, and have you had a fall or even a near fall in the past year? If so, you're in good company. Thousands of seniors share the same surprise. They're active, they walk daily, they feel steady. Until suddenly they're not. It doesn't happen on a hike. It happens while turning around too quickly in the kitchen, or when sitting back into a chair after lunch, that split-second loss of control. And here's the part most people never think about: these moments don't require intense workouts to fix. What they need is retraining the signals your body uses in those exact in-between moments, the transitions, the micro-movements, the timing. So today's countdown isn't about doing more, it's about doing smarter, starting with one of the simplest habits your feet and your brain need to relearn. Let's start by waking up a forgotten zone. Without even standing up. Number 6. Seated heel raises the forgotten foot. Wake up. This first move is quick, but it wakes up a part of your body that most people ignore, the bottom of your feet and ankles, and that's exactly where balance starts. As we age, those small stabilizer muscles in the feet and ankles lose activation, especially if we spend a lot of time sitting or walking on flat, predictable surfaces. And while walking keeps your legs moving forward, it doesn't fully engage the micro adjustments your balance system needs during sudden changes like turning, stepping, sideways, or rising. That's why many fall prevention specialists now recommend seated heel raises. They're not about strength, they're about reactivating the brain-body signal between your lower leg and the ground. In a 2021 review from Balance and Aging Research, seniors who performed controlled heel raises while seated showed improved foot-ground contact and ankle response, even without standing. Gloria, 82, a retired florist in South Carolina, started doing 2 sets of slow heel lifts before each walk. She said her balance felt quicker to respond, especially when stepping off curbs or getting up from the couch. Here's how to try it. Sit upright in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Lift your heels slowly while keeping your toes down. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower with control. Do 2 sets of 15 reps. The key is to move slowly, not bounce, and stay focused on feeling your feet press into the ground. And that's the foundation. Now, we rebuild the transition, the move before the stand. Number 5, forward scoots, reconnecting core and hips before you stand. Most people don't realize this, but before you stand up, your body performs a small forward scoot that sets the whole motion in place. And if that scoot is weak or rushed, the entire stand becomes less stable. That forward motion helps shift your center of gravity. Without it, your body either rocks excessively or pushes through the knees. 2 habits linked with loss of control during standing. A 2020 study in physical therapy and geriatrics found that seniors who practiced controlled forward scoots had significantly smoother and safer sit-to-stand transitions. Walter, 77, a retired truck driver from Nevada, used to do a big rock and push every time he stood. After learning to pause and scoot forward in small steps before rising, he said his transitions felt like second nature again. Here's how to try it. sit back in your chair, slowly scoot forward into -3 mini moves until you're near the edge. Pause. Feel your feet flat. This prep teaches your hips and core to engage before the lift. Do this as a daily habit, not just during exercise. Each time you get up from the table or couch, do a deliberate scoot first. Before you even stand, there's a sideways habit that matters more than you think. Number 4. Side to side shifts, the overlooked balance builder. You're not standing yet, just shifting. And that's what makes this next one so powerful. When you sit and gently shift your weight from one side to the other, you're retraining your inner balance system, especially the lateral stabilizers that get ignored during walking. Most people lose side to side strength long before they notice it. Then one day they reach sideways or twist, and that weakness shows up as a stumble. A 2022 functional movement study found that simple seated weight shifts improved lateral balance and step recovery in older adults over 8 weeks. Joyce, 74, a retired music teacher in Washington, began doing them during commercial breaks. It felt silly at first, she admitted, but now I don't wobble when reaching for the remote. To try it, sit tall, feet flat. Slowly shift your weight to one hip without lifting your opposite leg. Then return to center. Repeat to the other side. Do 10 shifts total, staying smooth and balanced. This isn't effort, it's awareness. A gentle training of your side stabilizers, right where you're sitting. Here's the key. You're not standing yet, just shifting, and that's what makes it work. Let's take a breath for a moment. You've just done 3 subtle movements. No sweat, no equipment, but make no mistake, what you just practiced isn't random. These aren't just chair moves, they're recalibrations, micro-signals to your nervous system that say we're back online. Because here's what physical therapists often see. Most falls aren't caused by weakness alone. They're caused by mistimed effort, a stand that's rushed, a reach that throws your balance off by half a second, a descent into a chair where your muscles don't fire fast enough to catch you. That's why walking, though still helpful, isn't the complete answer. It doesn't retrain rhythm, it doesn't restore directional balance, and it rarely improves your real-world recovery system. That's what these chair-based patterns do. And if this resonates with you, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We create videos just like this, low hype, high use, for people who want to stay strong, steady, and independent. The next 2 movements, they mirror real-life moments almost exactly. One helps you catch yourself when reaching. The other might be the single most important thing you can change about how you sit. Number 3. Chair leg extensions with reach, the cross-body catcher. This move combines 2 elements that rarely get trained together after 60. Leg control and arm reach. Why does that matter? Because most falls don't happen in a straight line. They happen during cross-body motion, reaching across the counter, grabbing a bag from the floor, pulling a drawer sideways. When your body isn't prepared to shift weight while extending a limb in the opposite direction, the timing goes off, and that half-second delay is when the stumble begins. In a 2019 report from a community-based fall prevention program, seniors who practiced seated leg extensions with a light forward or diagonal reach improved their dynamic balance and reported fewer off-balance moments during daily activities. Arnold, 79, a retired mail carrier in Texas, started adding these into his afternoon routine. I used to stumble turning to grab the remote, he said. Now I feel like my legs catch me faster. To try it, sit tall. Extend one leg forward slowly while gently reaching the opposite arm across your body just a few inches. Hold, then return. Alternate sides. Try 6-8 reps each side. No need to overreach. The goal is smooth coordination. Most people skip this, but it's where fall prevention really begins. Number 2. Sit back micro pauses, the everyday mistake that adds risk. We all do this next one daily dozens of times. But when you stop controlling it, risk sneaks in. It's the way you sit down. Most people back into the chair, then just drop. That drop becomes more exaggerated with age, and each uncontrolled descent trains your body not to engage the stabilizers that could prevent a fall. In 2023, occupational therapists noted that rapid chair collapse habits were linked to more missed posture signals and poor fall recovery patterns. But when seniors were taught to pause halfway down, those patterns reversed in just weeks. Marcia, 80, a retired seamstress in Minnesota, didn't even realize she was flopping into chairs until her granddaughter pointed it out. Now I catch myself, she says. I pause, lower with control. It feels like I'm resetting my balance every time. To try it, next time you sit, pause halfway down just for a second. Let your muscles notice the motion, then complete the sit slowly. You can place your hands on your thighs lightly to help guide, but avoid pushing. Do this during meals, after watching TV, anytime you take a seat. And finally, your fall reduction engine. It's simple. powerful, and it lives in your daily routine. Number 1. Sit to stand with pause. Reach your built-in fall prevention system. This is it. The most powerful fall prevention pattern you can train. And you don't need a gym or equipment. You already do it every day. But how you do it makes all the difference. The sit to stand motion is where most falls begin, not in the walk after, but in the stand itself. And here's the key. When you rise with a forward pause and slight reach, you're not just standing up. You're retraining your hips, core, and posture recovery system to move together, in a 2022 summary from gerontology research. Highlights: older adults who practiced this version daily showed significant gains in strength, timing, and reduced fall reports, even more than those who only walked or did resistance training. Daryl, 70, a retired firefighter in Michigan, said he used to grab nearby furniture to rise. Now I do 5 pause stands every morning, he told us. It's the one thing I changed, and I feel it in my balance all day. Here's how to do it. Sit near the front edge of a stable chair. Place your feet under your knees. Lean forward slightly. Reach gently ahead like you're picking up a small object. Pause for 1 second, then stand. No rush. Control the rise. Do 5-6 reps daily, near a counter if you want support. This isn't just a strength builder. It's a pattern reminder, a way to tell your nervous system, I know how to catch myself again. So what do all 6 of these chair-based movements have in common? None of them are about sweating. None of them require weights or long routines. Instead, they do something far more important after 60. They restore the mechanisms behind balance, rhythm, coordination, directional control, and timing. Walking builds movement, but these chair movements build response, the ability to catch yourself, to shift weight mid-move, to pause before collapse, to rise with intention instead of momentum. That's what most advice misses, because at 30, you can get away with brute strength or cardio bursts, but at 70, the fall often comes. Not from weakness, but from misfired timing. A foot that doesn't plant, a hip that doesn't respond fast enough, a pause that never happened. And here's the trade-off. Walking is still good. It supports your heart, your circulation, your mood. But if you've noticed more unsteadiness, especially when transitioning, these patterns offer what walking doesn't: recalibration. That's why so many therapists now say, start in the chair, because that's where independence lives or slips away. These aren't exercises. They're reminders of movement your body once did automatically. Now you're helping it remember. Let's bring all of this together into something simple you can use this week. Here's a gentle 3-day plan to integrate these movements without adding more to your plate. Day 1. Try the seated heel raises and forward scoots before lunch. Day 2. Do side-to-side shifts and the chair leg extensions while watching TV. Day 3. Focus on sit-back micro pauses and sit-to-stand with pause reach throughout your day. Just weave them into your normal sitting and standing routine. No need to do all 6 at once. Just 2 per day is enough to start waking up those stabilizer systems. And you don't have to exercise, you're just giving your body the reminders it's been missing. Now for safety. Always perform these movements near a counter, sturdy chair, or wall support. Move slowly. If anything feels sharp, off balance, or unsafe, pause. Use your arms lightly for guidance, not force. And remember, this is not a test of strength. It's a retraining of rhythm. Here's a simple self-check to try this week. During your next sit down, hover your hands above the chair arms, but don't use them. Focus on your pause. Feel the moment you control the descent. That's your stabilizer system kicking in. And just a reminder, this is general wellness guidance. It's not a medical program, diagnosis, or treatment. Always talk with a healthcare professional before starting or changing your movement routine. This video is for general wellness and educational purposes only. It is not medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making health changes. Here's what no one tells you. Your body hasn't given up on balance. It just needs clearer signals. After 60, stability doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from smarter patterns. Patterns that remind your muscles and nerves how to work together again, how to rise, how to shift, how to pause and catch yourself when life moves unexpectedly. And all of that starts in a chair, not with big equipment, not with complex routines, but with the simple, repeatable movements you've learned today. You don't need to change your whole day. Just anchor one of these into something you already do. Maybe it's a few sit-to-stands before lunch, or heel pulses during your favorite TV show. Maybe it's simply controlling how you sit down this evening. The difference isn't in effort, it's in intention. So here's your challenge. Choose one of the 6 movements, try it today, and let us know in the comments how it felt. Even better, drop your age and which chair move you're adding this week. Your story might help someone else stay steady. And if you found this helpful, you'll love what's coming next. We're diving into the 3 most common myths about balance after 70 and why most advice out there misses the point completely. Until then, keep showing up for yourself. Stay strong, stay steady, stay independent.